This is the new base plate for Cine backlight, and it works with f38 quick releases, allowing you to mount your camera with Cine backlight and all of its amazing features, and also have a quick release and a super solid base plate to mount to other camera rigs, tripods, and still use Cine backlight with your camera. There are several different kits available, and we'll be going over all of that information, what you need to get it set up, how to install everything, and what you can get out of this new product here at Camera Foundry. There are several different ways to purchase the base plate. You can purchase it completely on its own and everything you need to get it working with Cine backlight. This is great for those who already have an f38 quick release system. You can also purchase it where it comes with the Falcam f38 quick release system, including the beautiful version 2 multi-mount quick release base plate and the improved multi-thread quick release plate for cameras. Both of these are also available on our store separately now. And then we have the Ultimate Kit, which includes everything you need to get your camera up and running with a quick release. So that includes Cine backlight and the base plate and a quick release plate combo kit, so you can mount everything up and be up and running really quickly with Cine backlight. Now let's talk about getting the base plate set up with your camera and Cine backlight. And the first thing we need to do is install a quick release system. Now Cine back base plate is compatible with the f38 quick release system, which we highly recommend. The small rig quick release system, which isn't quite as reliable in our testing, and there's also spacing for other quick release systems out there. You can check our store to see what is available and in stock, and while we have chosen to mainly focus on the non-rotating version of the f38 system, the other variants that are available from Falcam also work with the base plate, so you have multiple options depending on your needs and what you may already have. So let's go ahead and install the base clamp of the f38 quick release onto the base plate for Cine backlight, and for that we're going to use the 3 large socket screws and the largest of the Allen keys included with the kit. This is how the base plate ships. You may need to loosen the screws and pull the threads away from the pad where our quick release is going to go, just like so. With that done, we can now take our quick release and orient it in the correct manner. So the clamp for the 15mm rods is going to be at the back of the rig, and the other side is where our camera is going to be pointing. So we can take our quick release clamp, and it can be positioned and bolted down anywhere in these multiple spots. And if we flip everything over, you'll see that we have a center channel that can connect to up to 2 of those 3 threads in the center axis. And then if I pull it down, you can see that all the way in the furthest back position, there's also 2 holes here and here to be able to put our screw. And if we push it all the way forward, we can also use these 2 holes here and here, as well as a third one here. So there's multiple places depending on the size of your camera and where you need to position it. Here we have things mounted on the sides. You can see where to position things. If you have a camera that has a lot going on the back, maybe a very large viewfinder or several fans like the Canon R5C, you may have to pull this thing forward and mount it closer to the front of the base plate. However, if you have a camera with a large lens mount, you might want to move that further back so that you have more room on the front end for your lens and your adapter and whatnot. We recommend you mount the quick release as far backward as possible, and if you need to, you can move it forward for whatever reason. Make sure the quick release button is on the right hand side and that the 2 silver locking pins here and here are toward the back of the quick release, not in the front. Flip the base plate over and add 2 to 3 screws depending on where you need to mount it. I'm going to add the 2 on the side here and then a third one for extra security right in the middle. With our bolts in place, we are now ready to adjust the 15mm rods. For this, I recommend loosening both sides and sliding the rods as far forward until they hit the quick release and lock them in place. Next, we can work on mounting the camera plate to the bottom of our camera cage or our camera. The model we're carrying on our store has multiple thread mounts, making sure that it won't twist on you depending on your camera cage setup. I've chosen one of the most difficult camera cages to get to work, just to show you how versatile this plate is. So here's what it looks like when you take all the threads out, and here are all of the threads that come with it. You could mount it front to back, like so, but on this particular cage, you'll see that the slot isn't quite long enough to accommodate both of these 2 threads on the front and the back. If those are going to work, that's probably your best bet to make sure that it's not off center of the lens. So front to back, that's great. And if you're okay with a single thread, then you can go with that too. Alternatively, on this cage, you'll notice we have threads on the sides. So I would recommend rotating this 90 degrees and connecting those 2 1/4-20s front and aligning the plate so that it is centered on the camera with this little tick mark here on the plate. For this particular camera cage, I'm going to use both 1/4-20 threads and get rid of the other ones. I'll install this smaller one first here and slide it over, and then the second one, and we'll go ahead and tighten this down. And with that done, this FX3 is ready to get installed with Cineback Lite. So we can take our Cineback Lite base plate with the quick release installed. I'll add the camera just like that, and we're ready to go. When you need to lock it, you can simply push this lever backward, and now the camera can't be released. When you're ready to release your camera, simply press it forward and depress the button, and now you can quickly get the camera on and off your quick release base. The other great feature with the quick release base plate is how giant the bottom plate is. So you have tons of mounting points, and it will keep everything nice and flat while you're working with the camera. There's not a lot of tip even with this heavy lens on the front. From there, we can grab Cineback Lite and go ahead and install it on the 15mm rods of the base plate. So I'm going to simply slide it on here until it butts up with the camera, and then I'll tighten it with the 2 knobs on Cineback Lite. For this particular setup, I have the extension block, the cable management module installed, and the Style A screen holder for the FX3, and all of this is covered in our full Cineback Lite video. The last thing I want to talk about is replacing these knobs with screws on the base plate. So you can leave these knobs here, and they can be useful if you need to make adjustments. But if you're going to be set up with your camera and not needing to change them, we can actually replace these with screws so they don't get in the way of your builds. Simply unscrew and remove one at a time and replace with the metric screw that's included with the kit using the appropriate Allen key. And just like that, we now have a super clean rig setup. The only knobs showing on the side are the ones for us to remove Cineback Lite. And with that done, we can simply grab our battery of choice, add it to the V mount, power it with a USB-C cable, also available on the store, and we're ready to go out and film. If we ever need to remove the camera, it's as easy as removing it with that quick release. We can now run around with a smaller camera package or take stills when we're ready for all-day battery life and V-mount batteries and switches and power outputs and everything that's great about Cineback Lite. We simply throw the camera back on and we're ready to go again. So that is Cineback Lite with the new Cineback Lite base plate, available now at camerafoundry.com.